attack this objective.
What is going on, everybody? I hope you guys enjoyed that first little clip right there. That was one of my deepest headshots of all time. It was over 590 something meters. It was absolutely insane with the bullet drop on that, and I thought I'd share that little clip with you guys, along with some more Battlefield 4 sniping for you guys. But let's go ahead and talk about what today's topic is, which is, of course, a cartoon conspiracy theory. Now, the theory that we're going to be talking about today is a show that I loved personally when I was growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s. I loved this show, and this show is, of course, called Cow and Chicken. Now, let's start out by stating the obvious. Now, first off, other than Cow and Chicken, there was only one other character in the entire show that wasn't a human, and that was that Red Devil guy. He was kind of creepy, kind of metrosexual, kind of weird, but still a funny character, one of my favorite characters in the show. But other than those three, everyone else in the entire show was a human in the show, and another thing to point out is that most of the show was based off of Cow and Chicken getting into mischief, getting into trouble, yet their parents never seemed upset about it. In fact, their parents always seemed to be overly joyed, always happy, always super enthusiastic about no matter what the kids were doing. They could get into trouble and all kinds of stuff like that a normal parent in a normal setting would have been mad about. They would have grounded their children and, all kinds of stuff with their children. But like I said, they were always very level-headed and very calm. And thirdly, the thing to point out is that the father always seems to be overly proud, so very proud of Chicken. It even says in the theme song in the beginning, it says, quote, "Mama has a chicken, Mama had a cow, Dad was so proud he didn't care how." Saying that he's basically so proud of his children. He was always proud of both of his children, and he's always telling them how proud he was no matter what they're doing, even though they were failing, even though they were getting into trouble. He was always proud of them, and this is where it gets interesting. Now think about this in a different light. Now if you were to imagine the show was all in the mind of a small boy who was being raised maybe by his parents who were abusive. They had a low-income family, didn't have a great life. Maybe his parents abused him, like I said. They were always putting him down. He never had anything nice to play with. He didn't have any toys, and he was always kind of sad in all this weird place. And he also had a sister who was kind of slow, kind of a chunkier sister, hence being a cow. And she's kind of dim-witted, kind of slow, and that kind of thing. So he just kind of makes up in his mind that maybe him and his sister are Cow and Chicken, and it goes into this kind of fantasy world, and this fantasy world kind of becomes this little boy's escape, and he's so emotionally drained from real life. This becomes most of the time he's in this fantasy world, just daydreaming about doing things and getting away with it, getting into mischief, starting trouble, all kinds of fun things with his sister, and having these kinds of little adventures and these mischiefs he's always probably doing in real life and probably getting scolded for. But in his fantasy world, he doesn't get in trouble. His parents are so proud of him. It's everything he wishes he could have in real life, personified in this fantasy world. Just because his dad's always hating on him, is always putting him down, calling him names. And in this fantasy world, his dad is so proud of him. He's so proud of for everything he does. Even though he gets in trouble sometimes, his dad could not be happier with his son and his daughter, and everything's kind of ideal for him in that sense. And as for why they are a cow and a chicken, it kind of goes down to he knows that this is inside of his head and he's not fully crazy, but his subconscious is aware of the fact that he's not facing down reality. He's he's instead creating his own reality, and in a kind of way, it's a kind of a way to coward his way out of facing up and manning up to being reality, which in turn makes him a chicken or a coward. And his sister, like I said earlier, it was a little bit overweight and kind of slow, so he just envisioned her to be a cow, which is kind of rude, I guess, so you could think of it like that. Now, like I said earlier, there's only one other character in the entire show that is not a human, and that was the Red Devil, and he's always kind of picking on the kids and trying to get them in trouble and all kinds of things like that. And there's many things that this person could be. A couple theories that I came up with. He could have been a principal at a school that was always, trying to get the kids, not trying to get kids in trouble, but, always getting the kids into trouble because they were misbehaving at school. He could have been a social worker that was trying to take them away from their parents. He could have been a divorce lawyer. He could have been any number of things that would have upset a small child, or every small child's got problems like that. But that is the end of this theory, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys go ahead and hit that like button, it would be very much appreciated. If you get to 600 likes before the end of the weekend, I'll drop out the next theory for next week a day early. Subscribe if you're new, and that's it, guys. Until next time, game the fuck on. Peace out. Alright, if you guys have made it this far in the video, I want to say thank you very much for that. Like I said, you guys can leave a like and all that good stuff. Or you guys can drop a comment using this week's secret word. And this word of the week is poultry. So go ahead and leave a comment using that word, and I'll know you guys made it this far in the video. Thanks, guys.